Hello everybody, welcome back to the UK SA's Better Racing League. I am Lewis Edwards and I'll be taking you through today's proceedings in the Netherlands. Just like the real life Grand Prix, we are at the Zandvoort circuit today. We are going to be having a reverse championship grid race. That's going to be a 100%. Those of you who were around last season will know that just after jumping into the commentary at the end of last season, I got to commentate over the 200% endurance race last season. Only half of that today, but we will be underway very shortly as there will be no qualifying. It's all decided based on reverse championship grid. I am Lewis Edwards. These are my socials if you want to drop in any questions about the stream, or if you're enjoying it, or if you have any feedback. Anything is always welcome. I'll reply to anybody that I can. So, today we are going to be getting underway very shortly, and we're already in the lobby. I'm not sure if everybody is present today. We sent all the invites in plenty of time, so they should have joined. But we're going to get into the game. Got a slightly different banner at the bottom today. Just did a little updating in Photoshop. That one. And at the moment, we have got the glorious view of the pit lane and the Williams garage, which is definitely much the centre of conversation. Who's going to be filling that garage next season? Here we go. We're going to get underway for the formation lap very shortly. We're going to go current tyres fitted. Obviously, free choice of tyres for everybody today. Start. As there was no qualifying. This is going to be the grid, and we've got a variety of strategies being played out. Got a bit of everything, which is good to see. We've got the poleman, Henry Hellbender, on the hard tyres. Now, in real life, this was the strategy adopted by Checo Perez, which we saw earlier, but he flat spotted his hard tyres on about lap 3 or 4. It was trying to make an overtake. So, let's hope that Henry does not give that one a repeat, but does manage to keep the lead for as long as he can. But I think at the start the hard tyres are going to be a bit awful to get off the line. Again, with these streams, please can you check the audio balance. It seems to be slightly different every stream. I just want to make sure it's roughly in the right area and it's all good for everybody watching the stream. So in real life, we saw the soft tyres do about 25 laps if you're pushing it, but the mediums would do over 50 if you were, well, up to 50. Lando Norris managed about 47 laps on the medium tyres. So if the game is ultra realistic, that's the sort of numbers we're going to be looking at today. Now, I usually don't manage to catch the full extent of the crashes that happen on lap 1. So I'm going to try and spectate somebody in the middle of the pack to try and get a good vantage point if there's any chaos that ensues. And you'll be able to see the chaos happening on the yellow flag sectors on the map. Here we go, it's 5 lights. And it's a jump start for Antoine, who has just decided to go with it. The rest of the grid are not being released just yet. We're finally away. So it looks like Antoine has got halfway around the lap, and Reporters is in the wall already. It looks like Antoine is halfway around the lap by the time these people have been released. Look to be clean through Sector 1 so far. Who's going to take the low line? There's a Williams that's going slowly. There's an Alpine off the road. Jack Mir has left the session. They're 3 wide and they collide going up the hill. It has been chaos at the start of the race. So it's Solo Godzilla that has ran out of front wing, and Reporters has got no front wing. So in all of this, Antoine is now just ran off, but is somehow, yeah, must have a drive-through penalty. But I'm not really sure what kind of chaos has ensued here, but I think we do need a restart, because that's just turned into a complete mess. As actually Deepova has pointed out in the chat, we are going to have a restart of this race, because that was a bit of a mess. I can't lie to you. So we're just going to pop back to the intermission. And then I'm just going to put in the chat. To make sure that everybody knows what we're doing, and then we're going to try and get the lobby up as quickly as right, I'm going to try and get everybody back in as quickly as possible. So this one didn't quite get off to the start we were hoping. So let me just quickly get everybody back in. So we didn't get to see quite much of the action there. Antoine seemed to get quite a good launch. I'm not really sure what happened with the lights and how he ended up half a lap ahead before. But we can't be having somebody released half a lap ahead, because even if they served their drive-through penalty for jumping the start, that would still put them in the lead, and Antoine was about 7th. So that's very unfair. As David is pointing out in the chat, that is extremely unfair to the other drivers. We can't be having that in a prize money league. So it will mean a restart. It's just going to take us a little bit longer to get going. So we're just going to sort this one out as quickly as we can. And it's actually meant that Potro has managed to get into the session. So he who wasn't actually present when we started the race will now be able to get a go in the race, and hopefully everybody who was present will also be able to get back in as well. That's another thing we need to make sure of. But the lobby, not quite sure what happened, but can be sure that we need to start in. So I'm going to try and get the grid edited as quickly as possible. And then hopefully get underway as quickly as possible. I've only got 6 people in, so this may take a little bit of time. And now 7. Just getting the order sorted for now. So let's try and send out some more invites. If anybody from Div2 is watching the stream, yeah, please join the new lobby. Sending out invites to everybody again. Hasn't managed to get it. But we did have a fairly solid grid so we should be able to get everybody back in, ready to go. Yeah, apologies for another technical difficulties stream at the moment. Hopefully going to bring you a race very shortly. Appears not many people have managed to get back in just yet. We're up to a fair few. Yeah, I think this aspect of the game definitely needs a fix quite quickly. Because at the moment we've had goodness only knows how many glitched lobbies when trying to get our league set up. But not to worry, we will get there. We've actually got 11 of the 15 so far. Not totally sure when we're going to call it and just say everybody just go. I believe we have Hercus Monty in the chat. Hello to you. I hope you are doing well. And hopefully you'll get a race underway at some point. I think we do have most people here. And now everybody that's in the lobby has picked a car. Got left. See if anybody was in before. Isn't. I think it's only Mosen Razai who's the only person who was in before. Isn't now. So we're just gonna wait another minute or two. And then we'll just call it. Let's get a race going. We sat around waiting for people forever. Just gonna have another quick check of the grid to make sure it's correct. Yes, it does all look correct. When it hits quarter past, I'm gonna tell everybody to ready up. But I'm gonna check our Discord just to make sure. To see if anybody is asking for more invites. It appears not. So I think we should be good to go. Pat has joined as well. So they're grid position. And I think that is where we're going to call it now. It is quarter past. And we want to get a race underway. So I'm going to signal to the drivers to begin readying up. They've all got the message. Spectate mode. And then we're going to get underway. So everybody is readying up and we're going to get underway. So that will all be sorted out now. And we are just waiting for 10 more seconds to get into session. Hopefully, everything is all okay. We're hoping and praying. Yeah, we're actually going to get you guys a race. Seems like Spa all over again. And then at Silverstone when we had a glitched lobby again. Now we've only got 30 seconds more to wait while the drivers apply their setups, their final race strategy adjustments. Then we're going to get underway for the formation lap. Now last time the formation lap was completely fine, so we're only going to know when the lights go out and the cars drive away. They really need to fix that glitch where the lights just go out and then nobody moves because they haven't actually gone out. It's a bit anticlimactic when you're like, 5 lights and they've gone out but they haven't on anybody's screen, so we're going to wait a bit. It's a bit anticlimactic, but you know, we make it work. It definitely caught me out the first time I was commentating though. And I was just like, it's 5 lights and away we go and nobody's moved. What? But hopefully, very shortly... Mohsen Razai has joined. Don't know if you could quite see it at the bottom there. But Mohsen Razai has joined, so we have got everybody in the session that was in the previous session, and I believe Potro is here as well, so we've got one person. But I'm not sure when Mohsen Razai is going to be starting. I think it might be last, given we did custom grid, and I didn't have time to put where he was on the grid, so I think he is going to be last. Actually, it appears like he's not here at all. Well, that's not going to plan for him, but we did give plenty of invites. Track map. And that's what we're going to get. So, take 2. And surprisingly, quite similar strategies taken by everybody. I would have thought a few people would have changed, but it seems like everybody has gone with exactly what they planned before. Now that tells me that the drivers, they're all confident that their strategy plan is the best way forward for themselves. So that's good to see the confidence from the drivers and not everybody's leaping to pick something else because some other driver picked it. They've actually thought it out themselves and they thought, this is what I want to do because I'm going to go and make it work. And in 72 laps time, we were able to find out who did make their strategy work and who couldn't quite make it work. Hopefully, we will still have 12 people going around the track at the end of the race. Although, I did watch the end of Div 1 and I think 11 people retired from that race. I'm not sure how much of that was contact or not, or just plane crashes or rage quits or disconnects, but I hope we don't get 11 DNFs. And I also hope we don't get half the grid DNFing. That was half of the field. We'd like everybody to be able to finish the race. Now we're going to try this strategy again, but not hopefully curse the car to give it the world's biggest jump start. So hopefully this time we will get underway with no jump starts. And we go green in the Netherlands. It looks like It's 3 wide into turn 1 and Potro's going for the lead. But Ty's held it round the outside. They're 3 wide further back. No contact. The house drivers literally pushing each other towards the grass. In fact, it was Henry Hellbender versus Reporters who's been forced wide by Tibran. And has dropped back now behind Reporters. Sideways trying to keep it on the track. Hercus Monty coming together with Bullet Eater as they now go 2 wide up the hill. Bit of wheel banging all throughout the field, but it looks like nobody has been seriously affected as Petit Peretz makes a move up the inside of Hercus Monty now. So it's Ty that leads at the moment. A fair gap to Potro, you can see on the minimap. And that's a Haas driver trying to go around the outside of Hercus Monty. Has he got some damage? A Solo Godzilla goes clean around the outside. As they're going 3 wide, trying to claim the position back. No moves were made. There's a yellow flag. I think that's Ty. Ty has spun on the final corner of the banking. And I think that didn't affect Jack Muir. And there's a Mercedes round. It's Antoine. And the Alpine of Ty is round again. He's gone from leading and now down to last, unfortunately. And Hercus Monty, I had a feeling had damage, but that just confirms it. So we're going to go and watch as Solo Godzilla and Jack Muir follow Petit Peretz in the battle for 5th position. Why you didn't wait for me? We did. We waited for ages. It felt like ages. But then again, PlayStation might be a bit bugged. I'm not too sure. I'm a PC player myself, so I don't know if there's glitches with invites not going through on time or something. But I sent everybody in the group an invite at the same time. As I think Ty has gone wide there, or let Hercus Monty go through. As we follow this battle, fastest lap for Tibran. He's overtaking Potro for the lead on the soft tyres. Just get further back. Petit Peretz is side by side with Jack Muir, who's going to come out in front. It's the Peugeot Alpine that comes out in front. Who's now going to be looking to go up the inside of Henry Hellbender. Has made the move stick. CFF has retired from the session, so they've come a cropper a bit further back. We're going to watch as championship leader Petit Peretz goes through now. Is Solo Godzilla going to follow them through? Thought about making the move. Henry left space. Side by side. Good traction for Solo Godzilla. Up the inside. Oh, they've made contact. Henry's half spun. And Pat is round. So our pole sitter has come a cropper, unfortunately. But still in the race. And Jack Muir from last position on the grid is now up to P4. It's Tibran who leads the fastest lap of a 1 minute 14.9 at the moment. As now Jack Muir and Petit Peretz are in hot pursuit of Reporters over his place on the podium. Jack Muir really needing a solid result to boost his championship hopes. Is he going to get underneath Reporters here? Yes, he is. It's a good move. And that will be 3rd place. Now Petit Peretz is looking to do the same. Reporters goes wide. Is he going to think about a lunge? No. Sensibly does not. On the DRS now. How powerful is it down this back straight? Not bad, but it is ever tricky to make a move into this corner. Ooh, bit of a lock-up from Mati Peretz, though. As it's another fastest lap from Tibran. Definitely using the soft tyres, using their potential at the moment. So we see Mati Peretz slowly closing in on 4th place. That will be a solid amount of championship points for the Ferrari driver. Gaining, but not quite enough at the moment. As Henry Hillbender has gone for the pits. Going for a set of soft tyres. Reporters has gone wide again, but didn't clip the grass this time. Just about holds on. This time, Mati Peretz is going to be closer. And with the battery and the DRS, which way is he going to go? He's going to go to the outside, Reporters. Doesn't really give him much space, but just enough to get a car to the outside. But alas, the move couldn't be completed there. But I think that's only delaying the inevitable down the pit straight here with DRS. And a bit of battery deployment. I think Mati Peretz is going to breeze past here to the inside. And goes past. Reporters is trying it round the outside. But is just going to run out of grip on the exit. Solo Godzilla has come into the pits. And now Reporters is going to follow Mati Peretz. I think it's looking very good for Tibran, as it did last weekend as well. Wonder if Quattro is just saving his tyres a little bit. Had a very unlucky and difficult time in Spa, did Quattro, with a very pointy setup. And Solo Godzilla is out of the race on the exit of turn 3. And that looks like it slid into the Armco. So all of Haas's chance for points are going to rely on Reporters, who has now crashed dramatically at the final corner. Both drivers are out. That's it for the Haas team today. We immediately commentator cursed Reporters a bit there, so my apologies. They're now down to, that'll be 9 surviving runners at the moment. We're only on lap 7. Right on board with Pat, who we haven't seen much of in the league so far. We've got a yellow flag, is that? That is Antoine is round. Maybe took a bit too much curb on the entry and the car didn't like it, I think, there potentially. But actually Hercus Monti and Antoine are going side by side, and Hercus Monti has got the position. But run wide through the gravel. That's going to give Antoine a chance to get underneath him here. And straight back past. But his battle's not over yet. Going to ride with Hercus Monti. Bit of ERS deployment to the inside. They're side by side. Can Antoine stick it? But Hercus Monti's round. Doesn't matter whether Antoine can hold it around the outside or not. That's going to be the place for him. It's all of the on-track battles today that we seem to go to. We seem to curse somebody. So it's looking good for none of them. Maybe that'll deal with this commentator cursing. It's okay. Potro made the final corner okay. We're good. The commentator's cursing is getting a bit better. And I believe Hercus Monti is not having a fun time. On this lap, that's another spin. It is very difficult out there. I think it's very easy to look on these drivers and think, oh, you're spinning quite a fair bit. It must be like looking at the esports drivers, you must think, oh, it must just be these guys aren't very good. But it's a no assists league, and yeah, it's very easy to do that, shall we say. Yeah, if you've not tried the game on no assists, give it a try. And then try it for 72 laps of Zandvoort. It is very difficult. And then, of course, remember the 200% race we did last year? That was difficult. But I think we actually got a fair amount of finishes in that race, which was great to see. We're actually going to stick with Ty as he's catching Hercus Monti ever so slightly. No, the commentator's cursing at everybody today. Absolutely everybody is getting the curse. I don't know what it is, but yeah, seems to be the way at the moment. To the third sector. Let's see if Ty can get the position with DRS. I think the gap might need to be a little bit smaller than 8/10. He wants to make the move into turn 1, depending on what wing levels they're running, but I'd imagine that everybody is running similar to what they run in time trial, which is kind of higher on the wing, or just a default preset setup, which is probably increased downforce. I think is the preset that seems to be the quickest, which is probably quite similar to what the drivers running setups would run. So I don't think wing level is going to play a massive difference in straight line speed here, because normally everybody chooses to pick around the same. But it does make a huge difference at Monza. That's one of the tracks where it will make a big difference. And Ty is taking a trip to the gravel. Antoine has retired from the session. And that's an odd place to retire. So I'm not sure what happened there exactly. But Ty is running a very pointy car. It seems to be a bit drifty. And he's going through corners. I'm not sure whether it's the brake balance, because through some corners it seems fine. But definitely has been running quite a slippery car throughout the season so far. Because you have to, if you want to be quick. It's the sort of setups you've got to run. So it really does hurt drivers who maybe race on a controller or on a wheel where the force feedback isn't quite as precise as certain others. You might be thinking, oh, well, they're all steering wheels, they're all the same. As somebody who's driven at least like 20 different steering wheel bases, very different. Because obviously it depends on your budget. Trugster wants to see another driver. So, who would you like to see, Trugster? I'll let you choose who we follow for a few more laps. All of them. Fair enough. Rode Potro for a little bit, our highest medium tyre runner. Best result of the season on the cards at the moment. And it's Tibran running away with it at the moment, but the strategy aspect is going to get interesting towards the end of the race. It's the pit stops. Are they going to be able to just do a one stop and then alternate their tyres? Or is there going to be some more strategy to play out? I do wonder what the tyre delta is. I don't think it's too bad around this track, as Jack Mir has retired. Let's see what's happened here on the exit of turn 1. Just lost the car into the wall by the looks of it. So we've lost another driver. We're now down to 7 drivers remaining. So hopefully these guys will press on. Got another yellow flag. Is this for Ty? I believe it is. That final banked corner proving tricky for these drivers, which is quite understandable. It is a very difficult corner, as Ty is showing right now, unfortunately. And quite sensibly rolling out of the way to make sure that none of the drivers risk going offline trying to avoid him. And just to compound the woes, he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Barks, to be fair, when you've lit up the tyres, it is very difficult to then recover the temps that quickly. I'm not half surprised he completely spun out again. Trying to get it going, it is incredibly difficult, especially on the banking. You need to put a fair bit of throttle on. Alright, with Hercus Monti. Had a very strong showing out in Spa. Last round, came home P2. Not quite got the same sort of pace that we've seen previously. I think the one thing to note about this season so far is that Tibran has definitely been there or thereabouts quite consistently. I mean, obviously winning in Spa, being very much there. I'm not sure he was there at Silverstone. I think he sent a message saying not a 200% race today or something like that. Yeah, he's definitely got the pace for Div 1, which probably means he gets it quite easy in this division. Although we've actually got quite a mix of abilities in both divisions, actually, because some of the people in this split, this division, could easily pick up a top 10 somewhere in Division 1. And actually, Barks, I want to enter Div 1. I set like a 42-4 on Spa in qualifying trim, so I want to join now. It was a good lap, that one. We're gonna go on board with Pat now. Oh, yeah, I remember, I think Mati Peretz did some in the previous season. Oh, I've got a yellow flag. I think it's Ty again. Sorry, Barks. Okay, let's put you in as a reserve. I'd need to get a wheel for PlayStation first, though. I was joking. It would be kind of fun. I'll do like the social races or like the World Cup or something on a controller for a bit of fun. But yeah, that was a good lap at Spa. as nobody has seemed to want to come into the pits apart from Ty at the moment, who's I think stretching it to get to the end on hards. Probably going to be a set of soft tyres towards the end, and actually that could give Ty the option of a fastest lap towards the end of the race, which would be great to see. Now I hope the Twitch bot is working. Because partway through the stream I told it to... Okay, it literally did it once and then... Okay, it did it once, but it didn't repeat it. Okay. Yeah. I've been trying to work on stream elements for the league to try and get it to put some commands in the chat. Didn't quite want to work this time round, unfortunately, so what I'm actually going to do is just pop them in manually from my account. So if I type in !Discord, we've got a link to our Discord now. So if anybody wants to join, then that is what you can do. That is how you can join. I believe that's only visible on Twitch, and it's not coming up in the restream chat, which is what we use to stream to both platforms, both YouTube and Twitch. So we've got a couple of things we need to work on for the projection for next week. So yeah, we can see it on Twitch. Happy days. Yeah, that's a link for anybody in Twitch chat. If you'd like to jump in the Discord, you'd like to join the league, anybody is welcome. We're always looking for more people to join. We go on board with our championship leader, Matsuperetz, who is currently cruising around in third place. The gaps are extending as the race has begun to... Chaos has died down, and we are seeing everybody getting into their rhythm now. They've all got the tyres into the window comfortably now. We've got Leox in the chat, our other commentator in the Twitch chat. So we're still seeing 18 laps of the soft tyres. It would be lovely to see what tyre performance they had left. That's another graphic I'd love it if they managed to add in. Oh, we've got a fan in chat. How cool is that? Leox, you can be my #1 fan. I am a fan of your work in Division 1 as well, of course. And maybe sometime we will get a dual commentary if we're very lucky. Have to have a think about that one. Can we get you guys to... Oh, yeah. Yeah, literally Barks just suggested it. Yeah, the only thing is then, it would be like, how would we do Div 1 and Div 2? Would we just do both? And then just keep it as one big stream? Oh yeah, Monaco's great for one-offs. Yeah, Monaco's always good for one-offs. But I'm going to make like an overlay which perfectly works with the camera, which photoshops the Gulf livery onto the McLaren. So every time we watch Tibran, you get the poorly photoshopped Gulf livery. Yeah, a special back-to-back could be quite cool, I can't lie. So everybody in chat, stay tuned for that. That could be very intriguing. We'll keep you posted. But we are now 19 laps into stint for these tyres that everybody is on. And it's now a 10-second lead for Tibran. And Hercus Monti, while all of that conversation has been going on, has been catching Pat Pat. And has got into the DRS zone now. So we're going to be looking at an overtake in the next few laps, potentially. There's a yellow in Sector 1. It's Ty, unfortunately. But has managed to get going. And Hercus Monty closes. It's not quite a gap to try and move up this corner, as it's not really a braking zone. Here is an opportunity if you're feeling brave. He's feeling pretty brave, but that gap wasn't ever going to open up there. Not close enough to throw one up the inside of this left-hander. And don't really need to when you're this close. You've got to get on the DRS now. To the outside, you've got to be brave. And Pat covers it off. A bit late, but that was never really wasn't really going to happen anyway. And Hercus Monty might be better just relying on this DRS straight here. Takes a later apex, squares the corner off to get a good exit. Will get DRS. And at the inside, I don't think Pat is going to be able to fight this in the braking zone, but going to try, not quite. And away Hercus Monty goes into 4th place. Need to about catching Mathieu Peretz. It's going to be 19 seconds. Oh, as Ty's gone around again. As Tibran is just loving life out front again. With another fastest lap of the race. As we've got yellows but no slow cars, so nothing to worry about there. Hopefully the voice doesn't run out. Yeah, I remember the 200% race that I commentated on here last year. Yeah, my voice was a bit dead the next day. It was very much a fun experience, that one was, though. It was really interesting to witness 2 back-to-back 100% races super glued together. And I think everybody seemed to like it. Everybody that finished, anyway. So, Pat comes around to start lap 22. And we're still seeing the tyres go on to lap 21 now. 21 laps on the tyres. So you're looking at lap 50. The current data is going to be the earliest that the medium tyre runners could go in with the intention of picking up a set of soft tyres. But obviously, as we get more of an indication of how long these soft tyres will go, and if they go further than 22 laps, of course, that distance will come down. And then we will have a better idea of what sort of tyre life we can expect from the medium tyres. I think people one-stopped it last year, but I think there's a bit more tyre wear in this game. I'm not sure whether that's sort of modelled or whether that's to do with the sliding that you do sort of have to do in this game, whether that extra bit of sliding contributes to the tyre wear. Let's have dinner. See you on Discord. I hope you have a good dinner. Well done on your Div 1 commentary, and I will see you on Discord. Barks has put 32 laps for the soft tyres is the data we've got. So lap 40, as Tibran's tyres they're all doing lovely. We're down to a 1 minute 14.3. Now, in real life, the track record is an 11.0 we saw today. Wonder if anybody's going to be able to beat that. 25 on softs. So, yeah. So, you're looking at lap 48. Mediums can go 50. Okay. So, the medium tyre runners should be able to one-stop onto the soft tyres then. Because you could probably take the soft tyres, take the mediums like 47 laps and the softs 23 maybe. You could get away with that. Because that's what Tibran is doing at the moment. But he can kind of cruise at 12.6 seconds in the lead. He can afford to just take it easy on the tyres. But if you're, say, Hercus Monti, and you're pushing to catch the cars in front, it might not be so easy to preserve the tyres, so you might be backed into a bit of a corner about them. Gonna ride on board with Bullet Eater, running up in 6th place. No points on the board for Alfa Romeo at the moment, but hopefully that will change at the end of this one. I think the quickest is medium and 2 softs, because the pit stop's quite slow, quite quick pit stop time. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I haven't tested it. Oh, you've got P2, very nice. Yeah, that seems to be the strat then. So, I think it doesn't really matter if you're Tibran. You can probably take the tyres far enough. And to be fair, I think Potro can afford to be a bit cautious because the gap to Mati Perez is quite large. But if you want to really go for it, I think you should risk it. I think there's definitely potential for positions to be made. But if you're in a position like Tibran, the one stop is the obvious option, and with no safety car, you can't really be thrown a curveball unless things happen with back markers, but they never do in this league. The back markers are all very sensible. This is going to play out quite interestingly for the championship, and Mati Perez has pitted. So is this going to be for hard tyres, surely? Or... okay, I was going to say, or softs. Mati Perez is not moving for a long time there. Goes for a set of mediums. Okay, so he will be doing the 2-stop. And that is confirmed, because he did the first stint on the medium tyres. And you must use more than one tyre compound. So we will be seeing Mati Perez go into the pits at some point. Yeah, it's going to be medium, medium, soft. I don't see a reason to take the hard tyres. So yeah, Tibran is going to be trying to take these... what's that? It's 45 laps, I think it is. Yeah, 45 laps. A set of mediums. So that's what that's going to be for Tibran in terms of his strategy. And actually, yeah, so he's attempting to not stop again, but Mati Perez pitted at the same time and is trying to stop again. Set of tyres. So this is going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. I'll watch Tibran for a bit, our race leader. It all looks so under control when you watch Tibran. It all looks calculated and purposeful. He's carrying a solid amount of corner speed, but it's never too much. It's just on the limit, in the zone, and driving really nicely. If you watch the real-life Grand Prix, you'll notice that the drivers took a very wide line through the banked turn 3. Actually, Tibran's gone purple through the first sector. But in the game, it is much quicker to take inside line. But in real life, it is much quicker to take the outside line. I think that's to do with the surface, potentially. Because the banking is modelled in... There's another purple sector. So are we going to see a 1:13 from this lap, potentially? He's improved so much from last season, his consistency. Here seems to be quicker to go close. Yeah, I've tried it a fair bit when I first got my hands on Zandvoort. It's actually quicker, in R-Factor 2 version, it's quicker to go on the outside. And somebody had the fastest lap for the tiniest amount. I believe it's Potro. And then Tibran said, "Nah, you're alright." And has taken the fastest lap back immediately. Nobody else is going into the pits as of yet. Yeah, Potro had the fastest lap for probably the smallest amount of time in this league's history. Yeah, definitely looking really good from Tibran. Does it? Someone who just wants to finish today. Yeah, I think that's sensible goal setting from Bullet Eater. Having not finished any of the races so far, I think getting to the end is always a priority to start with. But he's definitely making good progress every week, which is always things you like to see. Comment from Jack Muir in chat: this game's consistency with curbs are atrocious. Yeah, I can't help but agree with you, to be fair. I'm not sure if it's consistency that's the issue. Just sometimes you just think a curb doesn't do that. So yes, sometimes the curbs do weird things. Which is probably why we've seen most of these DNFs, as quite a lot of them have come from traction zones, or zones where you're on an exit curb. So I think that's probably been the issue. Yeah, that it seems to be just stay away from the curbs a little bit. I think sometimes it's unrealistic, but quite a lot of the time it's like that is what it would do in real life, but it didn't do it in last year's game, so that's why people are getting caught out. But sometimes on like a tiny curb that does nothing, you'll get spat into a wall sometimes. As unfortunately, Ty has had a bit of a spin there. Gets out of the way. Good start, but just can't seem to get the car how I wanted to. I can try and give you some setup tips. What are you struggling with, Jack Mia? Switch over to Tibran, who is now in hot pursuit of Potro, who has just spun. There will be no pursuit for Tibran, off into the lead, and sensible rejoin. Potro, sure he doesn't collect anybody, as that was a bit of a talking point from Mr. Breaking Point a bit there though. Third to fourth gear transition on corner exit. My advice is, it seems that what the esports drivers are doing this year is holding a higher gear through corners. Whereas in last, I'll try and give you an example. If say this is a third gear corner, some of them might just carry speed but keep it in fourth to try and aid the traction. Yeah, short shifting can help. I would recommend short shifting up to fourth being the highest gear to short shift from. You kind of want to shift kind of halfway through the gear rather than too early. We did see Ty and Potro pit now. So Ty's coming out on the soft tyres. They won't be able to go to the end. Potro is also going for the 2-stop alongside Mati Peretz. So we're going to see him in the pit lane at some point in the race, as he has started on the medium tyres and come into the pits for a set of medium tyres. I see, thanks mate. Thank you, I'm glad you're enjoying the commentaries, and I hope you managed to get those difficulties with the curb sorted. Is that it? So, let's do it. Yeah, copy and pasting setups is a tricky one. If I'm copying somebody, I'll pick a driver who has a similar style to myself, and then copy specifically their setups. So on last year's game, in time trial, I tried a lot of people's setups. As we see, Potro's got a penalty, and Hercus Monti has come into the pits for a set of soft tyres. Going back to my point, I tested them out and saw that David Tanitz's setups were the ones that I just gelled with from time trial. I tried Janu's, but the oversteer is a bit much for me. As Tibran does a 14.0 now. Feeling we are going to see a 1 minute 13 fairly shortly. Somebody. But yeah, I felt that David's setups gelled, and I just borrowed mostly his setups then from time trial. Made a few additions, and then those were the ones that I just ran with because I just gelled with them. But it's tricky to find setups that you can just click with. It does take a lot of work, but finding time trial setups that are quick and then taking the pointiness out of them and the responsiveness out of them normally does the trick. So you'll do that by changing the camber settings, maybe changing the suspension settings a little bit towards more in the middle, and you can always change the front wing and rear wing angle. As we're going to see Hercus Monti going to the inside of Pat Pat again. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, and I believe this is going to be Bullet Eater. Yes, it is. I think he may have fallen victim to those curbs we've been having a conversation about. So, not quite what we wanted to see. But still in the race. Still got 7 drivers left running. Hopefully that continues to the end of the race. We're still not half race distance, I believe. We've got 1 more lap, and then we're going to be at half race distance. And all of the chaos really happened in the first 13 laps of the race. And then it all calmed down, everybody got their rhythm going. And we've just seen everybody get their head down and begin to play out their strategy. And we're slowly starting to see the full race picture pop up. And there we go, a 1 minute 13.755. And there's a yellow in sector 2, I believe that is Ty, having lost it onto the back straight. So Hercus Monti does like the extra sort of downshift sometimes. and just like using the revs of the car to do the engine braking. His tyres left the session. I'm not sure if that's a disconnect or a quit. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure about that, so we'll find out very shortly, I think. I think we'll go watch Matej Perec for a little bit more. On his 9th lap of the stint. It's very smooth and collected with Matej Perec as well, our championship leader, who's looking to carry that lead into the next round. And he's probably going to be doing that, given Tibran didn't race in Silverstone. Yeah, Matej Perec does like to use a high gear and use the low RPM to be early on the throttle. You watch his throttle trace. He can be very early on the throttle and very harsh on the throttle because he runs low RPM. But actually, it is quite smooth with it there, as we're now down to 13.5 from Potro. They are definitely pressing on with trying to get faster laps, as everybody wants that extra 1 point for fastest lap. We're looking at the on-track battles. It is going to be a tall order for any of these drivers to pass those in front, but actually Hercus Monti might get Matej Perec potentially. Oh, there's no points for fastest lap. Oh, never mind then. So no, it's just for pride then. It's just for pride. Looks like Matej Perec is going to return to the track behind Hercus Monti. And then he's going to have to catch up and make the move. As Pat is still going to need to come into the pits. And I think Potro is also due a pit stop as well. Yeah, it would cause constant pitting towards the end to try and get fastest lap. As everybody like, new set of soft tyres for me gets the fastest lap, somebody else gets it on the next lap. New set of soft tyres for me. We've got a yellow flag. I'm not sure what it's for. I think Hercus Monti might have just slowed down to let our race leader Tibran through. I think that might be what that was for. As Hercus Monti's actually looking for a way to try and get past there, but I think was just not trying to actually make the move there. So actually, we're going to talk about the calendar while we're at it. The next race, round 5, will be a bit of a crazy one for a format for a league race. It's going to be an 8 times 5 lap races on various tracks. And it's actually on my birthday, which always feels weird to say every year. And we will be in the real life. We'll be at Monza next weekend for sprint qualifying race again. I think that'll be very exciting because Monza you can just overtake quite easily. I think Mercedes are going to have the edge there. But back to our thing, we've got 8 5-lap races, which is going to be certainly quite the unique challenge. I'm not sure how the grid is going to be organised for that, but the one thing I do fear with that format is it's just going to be send it. So hopefully everybody will keep it clean, and knowing how the driving standards have been in this league so far, I think they will be able to keep it clean. And I'm just trying to spot if we've... I know we've voted on the tracks, so I'm just going to have a quick look at what they are. The tracks confirmed: Austria, Belgium, Bahrain. Ooh, contact was that between Hercus Monti and Tibran as I look up from my phone, checking the Discord. One shot quali. Do you know what I think you should do for a strategy? Would be reverse order every time or random grid. So you have one shot quali defines the first race, then you reverse the order for the second race, then reverse the championship order for just the little championship in the game for the race. That would be quite cool, but I had a feeling there'd be a vote. Yeah, that would be sensible. But getting back to the tracks, we've got Austria, Belgium, Bahrain, Brazil, Canada, Italy, Hungary and Mexico. Well, I'm a big fan of all of those tracks, so that makes me very happy, and I think those are the 8 that I actually voted for. So that one is a good one. I am happy we picked those, as I think they'll be great for racing. As Hercus Monti is sort of being held up by Tibran, but I'm not sure he's going to be able to go past because the pace differential might not be that much between the two of them. We'll see. Hercus Monti's basically just following Tibran round for now, which is not particularly doing his chase of Mathieu Perez any good, because Tibran's a bit wide there. Hercus Monti gave it a big squirt of throttle through the middle of the corner there. As we head into the final part of the lap. I do just wonder if he's going to try a move. Knowing Tibran, I think he would just let him go if he tried it. I do wonder if this is going to spark a debate in the drivers' chat between them. These guys fighting for the lead at Spa, not fighting for the lead today for Hercus Monti, but certainly has the pace to do so. I think for the 5-lappers next week, I think Tibran could be one to watch. I think Potro could also be one to watch. As Tibran seems to be careful and stay out of trouble, Potro does seem to be able to make his way up the order quite quickly. is one thing I've noticed has been a strength of his throughout the past couple of races. So that could pay dividends quite nicely if we do a 5 lap, mini 5 lap event. Actually, Bucks, I have a question. If Ty disconnected, does he still get points? I'm assuming the answer's no, but I'm not sure. Because he disconnected. I'm not sure if it was a I'll send him an invite. Just in case he's been waiting for. I can't send him an invite. Never mind. There's a yellow, but I'm not quite sure why we've got the yellow. Yeah, I did. I think. But it doesn't give me the option to invite him again, so I'm not totally sure on that one. It said he left the session instead of disconnected. So I'm not sure on that one. Might have been a power cut or something. I think it was Zabby Jacket experienced the power cut. As here comes Mathieu Perez into the pits for the final time today. And he's actually got no front wing. So that rather explains the pit stop. Which will now promote Hercus Monti with a fairly sizable gap. An 11 lap older tyres. I think Hercus Monti is going to have to pit again. I don't think he can make it 37 laps. A set of soft tyres. So I think there's going to have to be a pit stop for a set of soft tyres again. Would get him quite nicely towards the end of the race. And give him a better shot at the fastest lap. I do wonder what's going to happen with this battle with Tibran, even though he is leading. Well, there we go, there's our answer. He doesn't want to pass Tibran, he just wants to follow him around as closely as possible, which I think is a fairly sensible strategy. Actually, I'm starting to wonder when other sims will get updates for Zandvoort. Because I know rFactor 2 did the update with this layout that's been in the game for a couple of years now. I wonder when iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione are getting their updates with that. Actually, it'd be good to see these drivers pick up Assetto Corsa Competizione, maybe. I feel like that would be quite good fun. It's a very good game. Would definitely recommend. It is only GT3s and GT4s, but it's a very good game. Very realistic as well. Also, the drivers in real life have said, who drive it have said. One thing I noticed is the curbs are a bit different in real life compared to this one, this version. Not massively. Hercus Monti is practically pushing Tibran round the track at the moment. As we see, Pat has made it 45 laps on the medium tyres. And this could be for a set of soft tyres. That's going to be risky, but I think still very possible. I think Hercus Monti is basically just limited by how quickly Tibran can go. is how it seems anyway, but getting a nice bit of DRS. And goes for the move. Okay, this is bold. But maybe that was a bit of lag actually. He's now back behind, but did get the fastest lap. So they are lapping very quickly out front. Does anyone know what the Division 1 fastest lap was? Just as a little comparison to see how we're doing in this division compared to Div 1. I imagine it was a 12. Be interesting to see how quick these guys are going compared to that, because they are very much on it. Check in with some of the other drivers now. As we see Bullet Eater running around in 6th place. Who actually runs cockpit cam, and so does Ty, I found out earlier today. I was looking through some of the I think it was clips in the incidents channel. 111 flat. So that was Div 1. Exactly the same as the F1. Interesting. Seems it is very realistic then. Fastest laps are exactly the same. I'm going to put the lap data on so we can see what sort of times people are doing. And Tibran has stopped. Ah, that makes sense. So you guys were forced to race in cockpit, so chose to continue with it. Fair enough. I think it's, I would say, just as quick. Yeah, I think it is just as quick to run cockpit cam as well. Oh, he's gone for a little spin and gets out of the way nicely of Hercus Monty. Carries on. Yeah, I think cockpit cam in this game is still just as fast as TV pod. But I think it's easier to be able to push in TV pod. Obviously you wouldn't actually drive with this kind of offset. Usually. This is just what we've got for the stream. I'd drive with something similar-ish to this, but in the centre, and maybe angled down a bit more and a bit higher, lower field of view. Is probably what I would choose to drive with. Yeah, I agree, Box. That would definitely help. I wish you could change to cockpit cam or something in spectator mode. I think that would be really cool, but in this we only get the option of either off-board like this or on-board with the driver. So Tibran's taken the easy strategy and released Hercus Monty, but no, he's also pitted. They're down to a 13-1 now. So actually, we're going to watch Tibran, so you can see what a 13.1 looks like. Only 11 of 20 finished today, yikes. Well, it looks like it's going to be sort of 6, sort of 7 out of 12 here. Well, it's going to be half, kind of, because Ty isn't actually driving. Congratulations, you've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat. Happy days. Most guys have 1 minute 12s as their best lap time. Okay, so we've got well, Tibran has joined that club now. For 1 minute 12.8. Yeah, so they were going at some serious pace then to be down to a 1:11 in the race. Guys are pressing on up front. As Potro's now pitted for the final time. And so is Ty's AI. So I think we are going to see everybody go to the end now. And actually, one thing I would like to point out, and hopefully not curse. Oh no, wait, Potro's got a penalty. Is not many people have time penalties at the moment. Yeah, that was Sandman. He beat me by 26 seconds. Yeah, I think I remember you mentioning that Sandman was going to be one to watch this season. He's definitely proved you right there. We're down to a 12.4 now. Hercus Monty's still going with Tibran on this pace. I'm actually curious what sort of times I would do compared to these guys. Might have to give it a go after the stream for a bit of fun. Very hard track to get. Yeah. Yeah, if you're normally... If we'll pick Sochi as the obvious example, there's like 1,000,000 meters of runoff there. And it's all tarmac runoff. As Matiparetz has gone for a spin. Actually, he's hit the wall at the back there. Lucky that didn't cause a puncture or anything. Yeah, at Sochi, if you run off, then you just end up in the runoff area. And all is well in the world, you'll just get a warning or two. But in this, it's a wall or a gravel trap. Neither of which are very good. So if you do come off, it does punish you a lot harder than just, oh, here's a warning. Which is good. I prefer it this way. TT top guys in Div 1 are 109. Yeah, I haven't done TT on this properly yet, I don't think. I remember on the last game, I think the best was about a 1 minute 7.9. Yeah, very much old school. It's a bit like Imola. They're really old school tracks, but really good. I can actually see Potro took the fastest lap. I think it was a 12.3 now. But that stands to reason. He's just come out on those tyres. So it's going to be between Tibran and Potro. And maybe Hercus Monty for the fastest lap of the race contest. I think the world record was an 8.3. Yeah, they increased the decreased the rear downforce in this season, so the cars are definitely a bit slower. Is that PlayStation World Record then, I'm assuming? Because, wait, I remember watching Lucas. I think he did an 8 flat, if I remember correctly. You want to see a bit of Bullet Eater? Okay, yep. Of course, we're down to a 12.1 now. Yeah, if anybody else in chat has anybody they'd like to watch, then I'll be happy to. You're running 11 wings. Crikey. Not quite what I would go with, but I mean, you got second place. Yeah, on PS last time I looked. Yeah, that sounds about right. The PC guys are absolute monsters sometimes, though. Get tips off people like Lucas and Brendan. Those guys really do perform at another level. Now I'm at 58 of 72 in this race. And actually Tibran had a bit of a spin there. He was only a 10th down on the Delta, so I think he was probably pushing quite hard to see if he could snatch that fastest lap back. And Hercus Montes immediately let Tibran back through. I think that was a bit of blue flags involved in that. We'll go back to Bullet Eater now that's all been resolved. But yeah, he's driving really well so far. Just don't want to put a curse on anybody else today. But it's good to see him improving again. And hopefully we'll be able to score some points today. By the looks of it, going for a comfortable P6 at the moment. Yeah, we might see some gaps close up towards the end. There's gonna need to be a lot of closing. Ooh, it was a little bit wide there on the exit. But he realised that he was going to be looking at running on that curb, which can be a bit dangerous. And decided it was better to just back out of it. The race time of the winner was 89.30. That's actually going to be really interesting to see where people would filter out into the Div 1 race. I imagine Tibran would end up somewhere in the top 10, maybe. Oh yeah, no safety cars, yeah. Otherwise it would be a bit unfair if one split had a safety car. There are 12 more laps remaining. We'll spectate Quattro. See what the Red Bull driver is up to. 6/10 off in the first sector, so the tyres of the way I call it is lost the edge. They're not wearing, but they've lost that peak performance, which is what they use for qualifying. and you want to keep the peak performance going as long as you can in the race, but at the same time, to keep it going, you have to drive slowly and not load up the tyres. So it's a bit of a balance in the stint. Like sometimes, well, best example is if you're trying to undercut the driver in front of you, you'll use up quite a lot of the edge of the tyre trying to make the undercut work. But maybe if you're if you know you're in for a long stint and you're a bit of a Checo Perez, then you're not going to be using that up too much at the start of the stint, because you know that towards the end of the stint that edge is going to be more of a benefit to keep the edge in the tyre as long as possible. As I think Bullet Eater's going for a bit of a spin. He gets going again. Check in with Pat Pat. A very quiet race for Pat Pat in the Williams. Looking to score their first points of the season. And a 5th place would do quite nicely to kickstart their point scoring campaign. Same goes for Alfa Romeo for Bullet Eater. I really need to learn the team names for this series because Parks wanted us to have special team names for each of the teams. And actually I've got those results for Div 1, yeah, the fastest was an 11.005 from Sandman in terms of provisional results anyway. Yeah, the teams are, we've got the BMW McLaren, here's what we've got in first for Tibran. We've got the Red Bull Lamborghini of Potro in second. We've got the Aston Martin Jaguar, Percus Monty in third. Actually, yeah, it will be Pat Pat's debut as well, I believe. Was it Panda or Pat Pat was in Spa? I really can't remember. One of the two was raced. I think it was Pat Pat. Or it might have been both of them. I'm not sure. We have Warren in the chat. How are you, Warren? Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, now 9 laps. Yeah, I think Pat raced in Spa, I think. I need to check the results on that one. It might have been, it was Silverstone or Spa. Certain of that. Gaps are quite open for the drivers at the moment. So I think everybody's just going to be cruising to the end. And accepting the points that they're going to get very gladly. And actually, Hercus Monty has got ahead of Tibran and gone a bit further up the road now. I think Tibran just backed off to consolidate the win. Very impressive that he's effectively just lapped almost all. He's lapped everybody and almost third place. So Potro and Hercus Monty, the only two on the lead lap. It's quite the big gap between Hercus Monty and Potro. Yeah, this is where the mental fatigue begins to kick in. I would say you're more likely to see mistakes between like 75% to, I don't know, 94% of the way through the race distance, because when you see like the moment you're seeing 6 laps to go, you're like, right, not long left now. You know, given the gaps between people, nobody's really going for it. I would say if there were battles, it's at the point in the race now where it's like, you've got to go for it if you're going to go for it in terms of a battle. But I don't think anybody needs to go for it. I think actually everyone will be fairly happy with their result. Tibran's going to pick up a win. Potro's going to pick up his first, I'm not sure if it's first podium, because I don't know exactly how that result went in Austria. I'll have to check up on that one, but I think he did come away with third place there. So second podium of the year for Potro. Second podium of the year for Hercus Monty. Extension of the championship lead for Mati Peretz because Spectre isn't racing today. First points of the season for Pat Pat in the first race till finish. First points of the season for Williams as well. First points of the season for Alfa Romeo and for Bullet Eater. And Ty won't get any points because he's disconnected and then not quite so great for the others who have unfortunately retired. So we had Jack Mio who had an unlucky spin off a curb. I think the same is true for Antoine. Reporters got a big snap of oversteer on the final corner. I think Solo Godzilla got a curb thing. And I'm not sure how CFF crashed. I know it was at turn 3, I'm just not sure quite how it happened. I think Potro has had a bit of a spin, but is back on his way. No need to panic. Only got 4 laps left now. Mati Peretz will lead from by 2 points from Tibran. Ooh. So he's going to need to do better in future races to keep the championship lead. Yeah, it's very difficult to make it to the end of a 100% race. I completely agree. Which is why we saw, what's that, 10 DNFs in Split 1, Div 1, and then we've seen 5 DNFs. And a disconnect here. So, yeah, well done to everybody who is still going. There's only 4 more laps left to go. People to bring home their cars to score some good points for everybody. Yeah, I really do hope everybody brings it home to get their points, but especially Bullet Eater, as this will be his first finish of the season. And it'll be some good points for him and for the team. we'll see. Yeah, as Warren's pointed out, Petit Perret is going to probably be going for a fastest lap. And that's a 12.8. So Tibran's best time is a 12.4. Potro has the fastest lap of a 12.1 at the moment. And we've got some winning times that we can compare to. From the Division 1. As obviously these guys are all going to be looking to probably seek promotion if they can to Division 1 at the end of the season. To do so, they have to earn stars. There's a whole system. Super smooth commentator. Smooth operator. I can't sing, so we're not going to carry that on. But we're in an appropriate car now to be singing Smooth Operator. That being Carlos Sainz's Ferrari. And we'll see. It's 2 tenths down in the first sector. Oh, it's a bit wide though. That's going to be in the gravel. Just make sure not to knock the front wing and you'll be alright. Managed to keep it out of the barrier. Don't need any last lap scares for anybody. As we've got 2 to go. Tibran is on his second to last lap now. But thank you both for your nice comments about the stream. I'm glad you're enjoying it. If we will have quite a few more races this season to bring you. We are only on round 4 of 9 this season. And it looks like it's going to be just about the championship lead still for this man, Petit Perret. But Tibran's definitely closed the gap. And another win is another big statement in the title battle. To see... yes, we can do. For the part of this lap, if we watch Tibran, I don't know how well you can see on the map, but Bullet Eater is... Wait, no, he'll be on his last lap because he's been lapped already by Tibran. So this might be his final lap. No, what am I saying? The checkered flag comes out when Tibran crosses the line. But yes, we can watch Bullet Eater for a little bit. Switch over. Now we're going to switch over to our race leader, who's rounding a final corner. And down the final straight one more time. It's Tibran that takes the win. And Hercus Monti has already crossed the line in 3rd place. We're going to see Ty's AI car come round. And we're going to see Potro round the final corner now. To take P2. A solid podium finish. As we're now going to see Mati Peretz come around to cling on to the championship lead for now. But it's game on at the front. We're now going to watch Pat around the final corner to take home first points for Williams. He crosses the line. And he's done it! Henry Hellbender finishes the race to score Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. I think everybody who's finished the race is going to be pretty happy with that. And so they should be. As we see the drivers on the podium, it is yet again, it's back-to-back wins for Tibran. BMW McLaren driver pops the champagne. As they enjoy celebrations of finishing a grueling race at Zandvoort. And there we have it. Those are the final results. So Bach said the winning time was, scroll up a bit, 89.31. So yeah, comfortably the top two would have finished inside the top 8 in Div 1, but of course we don't know how they'd interact with the other drivers in terms of battles and strategy. Of course you wouldn't keep the same strategy potentially. There we have it. That is the race. There we have it, the race over. Mati Peretz still our championship leader, but only by 2 points. So it is well and truly game on for our 5-lap extravaganza race next week. I do hope you will join us for that. I hope you've been thoroughly entertained today. I'm now going to end the stream. I hope everybody has a wonderful week, and I will see you next Sunday at 7 o'clock for the next round of the championship. Bye for now.